This is the future. This is the time to do more. Give more. Help more. Be more. A future where more compassion and more empathy will make us more human. A future where more technologies and more digital platforms will help bring more people to safety and prosperity. Welcome to the future. Here, you can be more with us. Access, more than banking.
Welcome back. Please now join me live in the studio, Aruna Kebira. Aruna Kebira join me in welcoming live to the studio, Aruna Kebira. Aruna Kebira is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of Global View Capital Limited. Global View Capital Limited is a trading license holder of the NGS. Aruna.
Good evening.
You are welcome. And then also via Zoom, join me in welcoming Malam Garba Kurfi. Malam Garba Kurfi is the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of APT Securities and Funds Limited. APT Securities and Funds Limited is a trading license holder of the NGX from Port Harcourt to where again, and then to Abuja, where is currently connected to us this hour. Malam, how are you? Good evening.
I'm happy to be with you.
All right. Thank you very much. Let us just move straight to business because we've got a lot to do. First, we look at the performance of the market for the month of July. Incidentally, this is just the last day of the month of July 2022. Well, the market was really bad that month this month of July, so to speak. Why did I say so? The Osha index declined by 2.79%, market capitalization was down 2.76%, volume was down 34.35%, deals down 16.94%, value down 35.41%. Number of gainers, only 18 in the entire market. Right, we're complaining that in the month of June there were few, 27, but the month of June was still likely better than what we saw in the month of July. And losers, in the month of July, we saw 69, though there were 76 losers in the month of June. But again, talking about 18 gainers and 69 losers, that will not be for a good market. Now this is the issue. We had expected a little bit of recovery in July as against what the market did in the month of June. But this recovery never came substantially, as the month did not just record decline in the all-share index or the market capitalization. Like I just said, it recorded decline in volume, deals, and value. Okay, now we also saw 69 equities on the losers chart against 18 on the gainers chart. More than this, because again we really do not have the space to give you all the data and the charts you may be needing. Okay, in the course of this month also, significantly, many blue chip stocks actually saw their year low. What a month! That we are coming out of it. Now, I put the first question to you, Malam. Okay, results are out now. Most of the results we had expected that should move the market back to where it ought to be are out. Substantially, of course, we still have a few, those where we are expecting interim dividend and all those. Well, how well, Malam, do you see these results changing market direction? Knowing full well,
I believe the result meet the expectation and surpassed the expectation of most of the brokers. Only that the results, most of them came at the last week of the month and almost at the last day of the trading. So you can see by Friday, the all-share index gained more than 1%. We believe this will be reflected in the next week of August.
Okay.
So the loss we had, 2.9, could have been eroded if these results were released earlier of the week.
Okay, now the fact of the matter is that there are competing factors. I put that question to you, Aruna. There are competing factors. I know that there's what I call circular flow of income in the financial market. The same set of money will move from bond to equity, from equity to real estate, from real estate to the money market, seeking where profit could be maximized. Okay. Now we know as we speak now that money market rates are attractive. Forex market is actually better. It's growing, and then the economy is generally slow with high inflation. Do you believe inflation rather? Do you see this that Malam has just expressed to be sustained? Now, my question is this. We saw the influx of results to the market last trading week of the month of July, right? How fast or how long do you think that the market will continue to respond positively to this result?
You know, I think I support what Malam said as per that the market will be what we saw last Friday will
now,
be sustained.
Aruna and Malam, within the month of July, when we were entering, there was this heightened optimism. That optimism never became a reality. You are expressing the same set of
that was
now.
Expectation, but we are not seeing the reality. Like before we sat down, I was telling you the only two stocks I've seen that brought result that I know that may not meet the market expectation is International Breed that lost a kobo, and the extraordinary item in Julius Bajat earnings that drag it down. Why did I say that we are going to see sustainability in the rise in the market? Is that if you look at the pattern which this thing came down, especially last week, you saw that on Monday it was MTN that triggered it. And what I noticed in the pattern of the trade was that most of the 100,000 that actually brought MTN down was not on the queue. That means that somebody was divesting. There was an agreement between two people to divest.
To round it off, you believe that this market in the month of August will be largely better than what we saw?
Yes, because the results have not been factored into the market yet.
You believe that these results would impact the market. Malam, I put the question back to you again. How far into the month of August? You know, Monday, tomorrow, the market opens, and people will have digested this result in the course of this weekend. Are you telling me, because we are not going to see another result until another 3 months, are you telling me that these results that are coming are worth me putting my money in the market because of this result, despite what we know, you and me know, that are factors working against this market within the Nigerian ecosystem, Malam?
Well, I still believe that the market will do well because it shows that Nigerians have no confidence in the Naira. If you look at the quantum of the value it lost against the US dollar, it scares anybody to continue holding your Naira. Because what does that mean? If a dollar can gain what it gained in the just last 1 week, then we are all for trouble for holding Naira. And therefore, not many people can afford to get other currency. So if in the view that you cannot get other currency, you quickly convert your money into asset. The only asset that is available for you and me is equity. Property is for the big guys. If you don't have big money, you can't try it. So the foreign exchange is not available. So where do you left? You are left with the equity. In most of the equity today, they are trading at their lowest price for the year, despite their good performance. This gives the investors confidence to go for it. And in view of this, I believe that more investors will rethink over this equity and come back.
All right.
If you look at on Friday, Zenith gained almost 10%. The same thing with GT, the same thing with MTN, And most of the big guys they have just started because they have not gone anywhere. And in view of this, we believe that the rally will be in the month of August, and most of this stock will be far ahead of the current price.
Anyway, thank you, madam. My own opinion, and I stand by it, is that the market will most likely start well in the month of August, but slowing down when we get to the middle, except if there are other results that come in, maybe companies that are yet to release their result and they come in with their audited account and then the interim dividend and things like that. But if that is delayed, there is no way this market performance will be sustained, seeing the forces that are working against the market. That is what I can see. But Malam and Aruna are more of market operators. I only analyze stock. Of course, I'm an investor. We go to some of the results that were released to the market, and we are going to be very brief. The first is the audit report from Guinness. We could see a significant growth here. We could see that the profit after tax grew from 1.2 billion to 15.651 billion. This is substantial. We could see that the earning per share grew from 57 kobo to 7 naira 15 kobo. This is unimaginable. The price also in the course of last year till now has grown by 185.94%. In other words, Guinness is growing more in earnings than it is growing in price. Then the PE ratio, as at this time last year, was 55.52, which was rather high as at that time. But despite the increase in price, because of the growth in the earnings, the PE ratio is now 12.67, which is very commendable. Then the earnings yield, marginal 1.8 in 2021, but in 2022 it is 7.90%. That is talking about the relationship between the current price of the company and this full year earnings. Then the profit margin was 0.78% in 2021. It has grown to 7.57% in 2022. The dividend payout for 2021 was 46 kobo, and the company went ahead and paid virtually all the dividend, or all the earnings rather, declared in 2022 as a dividend. Now, Aruna, let me put this question to you. Was it sales that brought about this kind? Did they sell asset? What?
No, there was no extraordinary item. But, you know, we have said it that a management that actually know that they have a situation and they sit down and critically look at it will come out like this. If you look at they did it through sales, and one of the things that actually helped them to maybe finance cost. The finance cost dropped by 54%. And that added to the, and you look at it that because they know where they are going, they are only clawing back only a kobo from the earning per share and pay everything because they know where they are going. Because by the time we see that Q1, we discover that this that they have started will be sustainable.
Okay, Malam, he has answered the question. Yeah. He believes that this is sustainable, but you see, Malam, my own issue is this. Guinness has done 132% price growth in 2022 alone. With this result and the dividend yield of about 8% from dividend yield of 1.45% in the previous year, where do you see the price of Guinness currently standing at 19 naira 50 kobo? Where do you see the price between now and when Guinness eventually releases the Q1?
I see this stock going far ahead than where it is today. Why? It gives the investors the confidence that the entire earnings was added and declared as dividend. And this is the best you can get anywhere. If all what you earn is paid as a dividend, and it happens there, this is what Nasali does. And today, necessarily, the most expensive stock because of the confidence the investors have for paying all their earnings. What does that mean? What it means that the earnings are real, and that what Guinness applied. And I assure you that confidence will be restored by the investors into this stock, and next year you will see it above 100.
Okay.
Nobody will get it at that price.
So now you have heard it from Malam, you have heard it from Aruna. Guinness, good for your portfolio. On the strength of this result, we go to Academy Press. Somebody was actually asking on our platform, trying to compare the price of Academy Press with that of University Press and then Learn Africa. There is a difference between a printing press and a publisher. University Press is a publisher. They don't necessarily need to own printing equipment. Then Learn Africa is also a publisher. They don't necessarily need to own a printing equipment. But you see Academic Press owns more of printing equipment. In other words, they do real printing. So as a matter of fact, the office of Learn Africa and Academic Press, I think they are just adjacent in the same vicinity. In other words, Academic Press can actually work for Learn Africa and can also work for University Press and still go ahead and do the same kind of business they do. In other words, they can publish, they can print, they can do commercial printing, they can print JAMB questions, they can print WAEC questions, they can do so many things. So you don't compare them. They are identical business, but not exactly same. But looking at this result from Academic Press, you can see the point where I wrote negative. Where I'm a mathematician by training, but I don't even know how to calculate it. I don't know how to express the figures because they were in negative the previous year. And they were growing. And then, so all the negatives have been wiped off, and then they have become positive. So now, this result suggests that Academic Press did not only end its financial year well, as we saw with a bonus of even 1 for 10 the other time. They are starting on a cleaner, not clean, on a cleaner slate in their 2022. Now listen, if this PE ratio is annualized, right, PE ratio of 8.45 at Q1, if it is annualized, it will come to something like 2.1 at Q4 with a price growth. This is the question. Malam, let me put the question to you first. With the price growth of 270% so far in 2022, all right, that was even after the price declined from 2 naira 45 kobo to 1 naira 85 kobo. It is selling now. Where do you see Academic Press going? The price headed going forward,
yes.
Malam?
You see, generally all the press companies were expecting them to go higher and better than where they are today because of the obvious reason. It's very difficult to get foreign exchange to import the foreign product. So every other person will concentrate on the local one because you buy it in Naira and you have the Naira. So you will see more turnover for them, and that will likely push to their profit. What is pushing it is the foreign exchange scarcity. Trust Nigerians. They want to go and import everything, even including envelope abroad. But where is the foreign exchange? It's not there. So even those who are having the taste for the foreign product, they come back to the local product, and that's what gives them engaged, and this will continue as long as there is scarcity of the foreign exchange.
But again, though I wouldn't want us to dwell much on this because of our time. Aruna, you and me, we were in printing. We also know that number one, Hedibadge is the manufacturer of the major machines. All their parts will have to be imported here. You need foreign currency. Germany. Number two, I doubt if there are local manufacturers of ink that we used to use in our press.
They may not be as good as the imported.
As the imported. Yeah. And so if you want to import ink, all right, the cyan, the magenta, and you must have forgotten.
CYMK, I know now, says cyan, yellow, magenta, and the black.
So they will still need foreign exchange. Yes. But what I know about publishing generally, you look at university press, you look at Learn Africa. I was also into book publishing. You don't buy books cash down; they give you on credit, so you don't necessarily need the dollar to bring, because books most often you sell. If you are not able, we don't have time to begin to analyze it. But Aruna, let me put it down to you. Do you think this result is sustained or sustainable?
Yes.
Are you recommending that?
Yes, I will say that this stock is like a proverbial phoenix that rose from the ashes, especially when you are looking at quarter. If at quarter one your earnings yield, after the price has grown, because irrespective of the price growing, you still have 11%. And for quarter one, then it means that the sky is...
We go to northern Nigerian flour mills. Madam, I put this question to you first, because looking at this result, their turnover so huge, 4.3 billion or 4.4 billion approximately, really, from 3.5 billion, showing a growth of 23.22%. Their profit after tax showing a growth of 103.45%, which is ridiculous. You are generating a turnover of about 4.4 billion and your profit is peanuts, all right, paltry, we will say, okay, 168.5 million naira. That is nonsense by any standard. Okay, now it's now coming, how can a company with 4.4 billion naira be generating 95 kobo earning per share? Okay, yes, if you want to look at it technically from 46 kobo to 95 kobo, you will say that is good. That is one way to look at it. The price has grown 39.84%. To 8 naira 60 kobo from 6 naira 15 kobo. If you want to look at it that way, you will say they are growing their earnings more than their price is growing. And then you look at the PE ratio for the Q1, it's 9.09. You will say it's okay. If you want to analyze that, it gives you less than 2.5. Okay, and if you are looking at their earnings yield, it's 11%, which is not bad because the price has not grown so well. Yeah. But when you now come to profit margin of 3.84% by any standard, this result is not good. Malam, what do you have to say to this?
Well, I think this is where the people have the problem of this transfer price. Remember, this is a subsidiary of Flour Mill.
Yes, sir.
And this is what we are seeing. They are not managing them well. Because if they are managing them well, they should have a relative profit before tax and profit after tax with a good margin that they will be able to declare. But if the parent company decided to take their profit somewhere else, so the minority remain there. And don't forget that this is a company that has very few quantity floating. So to get 100,000 units to even change the price is hell. So it's not a stock that you see a time for the whole week trading, you hardly see a single transaction of 100,000 at your below. And that also contributed to their price.
Okay, now, Malam, will you advise me to buy this kind of stock, or you just say, Abayomi, allow Northern Nigerian flour mills to go? Will you be recommending that I buy it?
I will advise you to go to the parent company, that is the Flour Mill of Nigeria, which own the 60% of this, so because whatever the good is, you take it there. Okay,
Aruna, will you advise that
in fact, the albatross is a cost of sales, which is just talked about, for a turnover of 4.39 billion. Cost of sales is 4.047. That is 92% of cost of sales. There's no way that they will give the company a breather. It will continue to struggle in this direction.
Our association, we should take a closer look and investigate.
Because it even happened in their last result.
Yes. And let me quickly say this, that please, you need to get connected to what we are doing. This thing is too informative that you don't share. Please help us share. Call people. That is one. Go on YouTube and subscribe. All these things will go on YouTube in the course of the week. Sit down with all these things we are saying. What we have on this desk is a combined experiences of nothing less than 80 years combined. This is what we are putting into this. We are talking about Malam over 30 years, myself over 30 years, Aruna over 15 years. You put this together, you get something in the region of 80 years. That's what we are putting together. Go on YouTube, then go to Stocks Watch. Just search Stocks Watch, STOCKSWATCH, plural, Stocks Watch. And then subscribe so that whenever we are on, you can be prompted. Also, for now, we are still developing our app, but you can get the app for Lagos television so that you can watch us live. Tell your brothers, your sisters, those that have connected to Stocks Watch in ages past that are out of the country now, please let them get connected so that they can watch us live, and then send money from there to the account of Aruna, send money from there to the account of Malam, and let them do the purchase for them here without having to pass through anybody. That is that. Then our website, stocksng.com, stocksng together.com. All these things will also be there. I did not stop the production of the publication of Stocks Watch weekly newspaper. I only stopped the hard copy, right? Because I was losing too much. So as Stocks Watch used to be in hard copy, you have the electronic version now on our website. Stocks Watch is still there. Go there, read for free. We are not even attaching any fee at all. That said, we now come to Vitafoam. Vitafoam released their Q3 results to the market in the course of last week. 32.88% growth in turnover to 35.6 billion naira from 26.83 billion naira it declared the previous year. Now the profit after tax grew by almost the same percentage, 33.23%, to 4.5 billion from 3.4 billion the previous year. Right, the earning per share stands at 3 naira 63 kobo from 2 naira 72 kobo the previous year, at a price of 22 naira 50 kobo, which is showing a growth of 45.16% from what the price was as at July 28 of 2021. The PE ratio this year is 6.20, whereas the PE ratio for the same period last year was 5.70. It suggests significantly that for Vitafoam, the earning per share has grown less than how the price has grown. And that is why you see the variation in the PE ratio. We go further. The same period of last year, their earnings yield was actually higher, 17.54%. 16.13% is their earnings yield for this year. We come to profit margin, almost within the same level, 12.70% profit margin. Relating, how do you get profit margin? Very simple. Just put the profit top and then put the turnover down. Whatever you get, multiply by 100. That is the simple arithmetic. It is not even mathematics. The calculation is very simple. So for profit margin 2022, it is 12.74%. I don't know. Let me come to you. This year, do you know that the price performance of Vitafoam has been nil? And from this that we are seeing, despite that, from where it was last year to where it is this year, despite the nil growth in price this year, so far so good, okay, the company has not been able to grow their earnings beyond or to tally with the way the price has grown in the course of 1 year period, will you advise that this equity is advisable to buy into, or you want me to just hold for now?
No, I think I will, first of all, I will recommend hold for those that are in, but if you discover that for a very long time the price dropped to this 22.50, it has been able to sustain it at that level, which means that probably by the Q4, if there's another declaration of dividend, we might actually see. Remember that the price of this stock got over 30 naira. So it means that it's still within the buyable range.
So, Malam, what are you saying about Vitafoam? Every day, people get married, people buy bed, you see that they are expanding. Right? If we look at that as index for purchase, you will say Vitafoam is good. But, Malam, what are you saying? Buy, sell, hold.
Yes. He's talking about this.
All right.
What I'm saying, Vitafoam is a dialing stock for anybody who is looking for a growth stock. It has promised and keep on the promise that it's a growth stock. The sky is the limit. The price will still push further because this is a stock that pay 1 naira 50 kobo. No one expected it, and the share the market rewarded them. So you can see the earning. So if Vitafoam decided to pay 2 naira for 2022, is very possible. And if you look at it, any company that have double digit in terms of growth of the turnover, in terms of the growth of profit before tax, profit after tax, it shows you it meets all the criteria for the growth stock. Anybody that is looking for growth stock, Vitafoam is one of the stocks that should be in your portfolio, and I believe that the market have them further than what they rewarded them the previous year.
Malam, the only reason as to why you are recommending Vitafoam, if I'm not mistaken, is the profit payout, the dividend payout. That is about the only. And are you telling me that significantly having only one factor, because this company is actually not meeting up?
No,
because
the tax, if you look at the
turnover grew at the end of the day, Malam.
Any company that have an increase of the turnover by 33% is worth it, and not only the profit. The market is a dominant player today in the Vitafoam, and nobody is challenging them, and we can see it in terms of the growth. They are taking their market and taking others' market. So that is the stock to hold.
Okay, but I, as an analyst, I look at these things broadly. I don't just look at turnover. I look at how these things pile down. And that is why I'm relating the price growth. When your price was growing, you are being compensated. Further growth in price that does not lead to further growth in earnings will be a misplaced growth in any market. I explain myself better this way. In the case of Vitafoam, earning per share has grown by 33.3%, by 23%, whereas the price has grown by 45%. In other words, it's like your the brain is.
That's what declined the earning. Once there is growth in the profit, it will make your earning to go low. But that is not what concerns the majority of the investors. Majority investors have Vitafoam at the single digit, maybe 4 or 5 naira. So the growth is going. It's a stock that you should hold because it's rewarding you a very good dividend. And that's what happened to Nestle. Today people are not selling Nestle because they have it at 10 naira, 20 naira. And the dividend is worth holding. So the same thing with Vitafoam. It is increasing tremendously in the payout of the dividend, and it proved the investor that it have the confidence to continue with that. So the earning yield may be low because the price is rewarded adequately, but we are telling you this is a stock to hold for anybody that is looking of growth stock.
All right, thank you. Aruna, you have anything to say to Vitafoam as addition?
No.
Because this next slide will be attended to by Malam Bua Cement to raise capital for capacity expansion. According to the reports released to the market in the course of last week, the funds to be raised is expected to be provided with the International Finance Corporation as a lead arranger. The loan is for the expansion of Bua Cement's integrated cement plant in Kalambaina in Sokoto State. In other words, from what we could see, the fund is expected to be foreign funds, not just local. Production capacity, if this fund gets to them, is expected to grow by 300% from 2 million metric ton per annum to 8 million metric ton per annum. Sorry, if you are seeing on the screen 8.0, it means 8.0 million metric ton per annum. Other ancillary utilities will also be developed. So, Malam, the funds being sought is in foreign currency. And will it be cheaper or better to source for funds in foreign currency in the face of declining local currency value? Malam?
Well, probably, I'm not very sure. They are finding it very difficult to source foreign exchange even locally. So if you cannot get it locally and you need to move faster and better, then you have to go for the foreign loan in the foreign currency because you will get it there. You don't need to convert it. Yes, it may be cost, but when you see the rate of the growth of this company, they are equal to the tax. I have seen the chairman and the group managing director had a meeting with the president of the Niger Republic. Remember, Kalambaina, that is Sokoto, they are just at the borderline with the Niger. And the Niger need a lot of cement. So probably this will open more window to export. And when they export, they will earn in the foreign currency.
In other words, Malam, you are telling us that Bua is an opportunity. So before this fund comes in now, before we see this growth, we should all look for money to go and invest in Bua. True or false, Malam?
It's frozen.
All right, Aruna.
The only thing I see here is that yes, they could get it for maybe cheaper. The rate might be cheaper, but there is no way it is not. This loan will not be open to exchange differential risk. The only way they can even make it more impactful is when they have a currency swap in place. I wouldn't know whether they will put that currency swap in place. That might reduce the risk, because if they have taken that loan at 600 to $1 and dollar is now 710, there's no way they will feel the impact.
So, Malam, I'm saying, or I was saying, that with this, you probably will be recommending that the best time to invest in Bua is now, because we are expecting, though there is the risk of currency fluctuation, but again, this expected growth from about 2 million metric ton per annum to 8 million, which is talking about 300% growth in. And that when you talk about cement, the price has inelastic demand. No matter the high, the price of cement, people will buy the same quantity.
Perfectly inelastic.
So perfectly inelastic. All right. So you are in that. Will you be saying?
Yes, people will buy.
So this is a good time to invest in Bua cement and wait, right?
Yes, it is good time. Already they have made 4 million metric ton by the time the vice president launched the second phase. So what they need is to move to 8. And I believe that being very close to the Niger, and the Niger are in.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we just have to go on a short break. When we return, we'll be looking at essentially those companies that release their second quarter reports. You can't get it better anywhere. Don't change this channel. We'll be right back.
come right in. We've been waiting.
It's amazing in here, Martha. You've done so much for yourself.
Thank you so much, Did she tell you she'll be getting her doctorate degree in a couple of weeks?
Really? Yeah. Congratulations, girl. Thank you.
So, to more successes, girl.
Yeah. Cheers. Wow, it's amazing what you and your brothers have achieved in the past 15 years, despite mom and dad being absent. All four of you are so stable, and you've achieved so much.
Thank you so much, girls. Life may have dealt us an unexpected blow early in our lives, but Dad and Mom set us on a safe path to where we are today. They secured our future with life insurance from African Alliance Insurance PLC. We are not alone. All our life moments are kept on check with AAI.
Wow. Yeah. This sounds so good, Amaka. Please, show us how. Of course.
Get life insurance from African Alliance Insurance PLC. There's a plan to suit you and your family's needs.